They don't exist, remember? Remember? There's no secret elites meeting with government officials to set policy. Oops, we exposed it. We've gotten the documents time and time again. Now Bilderberg admits they exist, that they're more powerful than Davos, that they are setting policy, and they've told that to major German newspapers, and you can just put it in a pipe and smoke it. They don't care. Really what they're doing is acting like they don't care and acting like they're powerful and untouchable because they're totally scared. They are running scared. And I have the stack of Bilderberg news here in front of me. Let me just read these headlines ahead of David Knight joining us. We caught video of General Petraeus going for a jog at Bilderberg 2014 on the waterfront they have completely fenced off. General Petraeus, CIA head and former General Petraeus, was seen exiting the Marriott Hotel and jogging down the street being chased by InfoWars reporters. And again, our guys confirmed it was Petraeus. It was in the Bilderberg area. It's hard to pick up on the camera, but if you blow it up, you can see that it's Petraeus. Continuing, we have a photo gallery at Infowars.com of people being arrested and other such things at Bilderberg. 2014, protesters being arrested. The police aren't messing with you unless you cause a disturbance, and they had some provocateur getting in our reporters' faces, and they got drug off. There's photos of that and a lot more, and then putting up weird black film on the windows so you can't even see in. Oh, but there's nothing being hidden, though. It doesn't exist. The New York Times said that I literally, said it was imaginary in 2008. Again, mainstream media is beginning to cover Bilderberg. CNBC has the headline, Bilderberg Conference, spies, CEOs, and politicians gather. London Independent asks, is it a conspiracy that they're involved in inside? Oh, from us being conspiracy theorists to, is it a criminal conspiracy? London Evening Standard, Ed Steers clear of Bilderberg Group. We've got other reports, Bilderberg at 60, insides the world's most secretive conference. That's the London Guardian. And we have all that big exclusive live feeds and more at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. But here is the specific article. If you're watching us on television, out of the Guardian, that's a big report by Charlie Skelton. Bilderberg at 60, inside the world's most secretive conference. So massive coverage now in the foreign dinosaur press, and now even some coverage in the controlled press here in the United States. So that is certainly some extremely positive news. Here's RT, the Russian news. NATO chief, former U.S. intelligence director, among Bilderberg elite, meeting right now. Zero Hedge is covering it as well. And we have to, again, thank DrudgeReport.com. Every year, there's not a lot of coverage till Drudge picks up the list from us and then picks up some of the other reports we put out. That's the pattern it follows. And then a day later, it's so embarrassing to the dinosaur media that even though they ignore it, everyone's seeing live video feeds, they're seeing videos, they're seeing photos, they're seeing Bilderberg security say, yes, we're Bilderberg, you can't come in. They're seeing people being arrested. So we show the emperor's butt naked with DrudgeReport.com, Infowars.com does. And then it forces the Berlin Wall, the electronic Berlin Wall, to collapse. Now, in huge, 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 huge news, we're going to cover this when we come back. There's a story out of the Washington Times that we have up on Infowars.com. It's red-linked on Drudge on the right-hand side. Inside the ring, directive outlines Obama's plan to use the military against citizens. That's right. And it's a direct link to the memo in the article, and it says including drones. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go over the document. We're going to go over the directive for you coming up in the next segment. It is a big deal. And I know for you it's old news, but now it's drones. Remember, just a few years ago, we were insane to say that drones would even operate, period. Even though they were already spying on farmers and ranchers. In local news, we reported on it, and they had the national media and AP say that it did not exist. Just like Obamacare tax doesn't exist. Just like Hillary and Benghazi don't exist. Fast and Furious doesn't exist. Only thing that exists is what our government tells us. Do you understand that? Being a cynic linked to triple risk of developing dementia, Finland study finds. That's in the Financial Times of London and the National Post as well. And the reason I start this segment with that information before I get into really bad news is I'm not being a pessimist and a defeatist. I'm admitting the bad in the world because I believe in good men and women standing up against it and changing it and making this a better world. I'm an optimist. People always say, man, you must be paranoid and scared. No, I challenge the corrupt and the evil. I have courage. I don't imagine people are after me. I know there's always been corrupt elites where they don't even think about other people and they just want total control. And I'm here saying, no, that's not the way this is going to be. We're going to admit there's a global elite that are tyrannical. We're going to admit there's an Agenda 21 to shut down our economy and consolidate it in the hands of a few that are exempt from the regulations. We're going to admit there's a move to militarize police and use the military against the American people, and they're deploying armored vehicles and tanks and helicopters and drones, and we're going to show the documents. And we're going to have a public debate about it, and we're going to say no to it. Where even if they try to stage a false flag and use the military against us, the military is going to be so awake, because we've been targeting them with the truth openly, that they're not going to go along with the narrative. That's called check. We're putting the globalists in check. That it's their move next. And here's the article up at Infowars.com. I've told Adon Salazar, I've told Kurt Nimmo, I've told Kit Daniels, I've told all of our writers that are here to cover this from their own angle, but to point to all our research and all of our documents. Because as good as this Bill Gertz article is, and it's excellent, and it's up at drudgereport.com, linked in red, Department of Defense Directive number 3225.18, just now declassified, December 29, 2010. Defense support for civil disturbances. Directive. Story's also up on Infowars.com. We have it mirrored and archived. In fact, I don't usually take mainstream media or other media's stories whole hog. I just link to them. I want the whole article linked. Bill Gertz's article is so important. I want the whole thing mirrored. It's fair use. We can put a link to them. They don't care. I just want to, we should get Bill Gertz on about this if he wants to come on. This is a big deal. And this is everything we've been telling you. Because, again, I'm going to say this again. If we have a debate about this and then point out, oh, by the way, in the manuals, it's not just domestic war they're preparing for and civil unrest. It's with the Tea Party, returning veterans, gun owners, conservatives, libertarians. That's about half the country. This is treason. It's illegal. And if there's a debate about it and the public learns the military is being prepared for war and that the military is being prepared, the Tea Party is going to blow up federal buildings everywhere, everyone, when Obama's handlers blow up a federal building, are going to say, who stands to gain from this? Let's investigate. See, if there's no debate, they can get away with this. I hammer this every week because if we don't hammer it, they're going to win. And by the way, if you don't start hammering it, folks, if enough people don't start hammering this, let me tell you why I'm ready to literally wash Bill Gertz's car if you wanted me to. If we don't get more reporters covering this, I've studied this. This is the kind of thing they'd kill me over. Because they know the power of beating a drum. I do this constantly about the globalist. There's a global elite. They're tax exempt. They're the ones wanting your guns and to raise your taxes because they're exempt. Warren Buffett. Here's McClatchy newspaper. Here's AP. They're training for a military takeover and an implosion. They'll stage a false flag to blame on us when they do it. And they're afraid you're going to start going. Joining me. More fist banging. We all start pointing our finger at them. You know, like the body snatchers point at humans and hiss, we should point at them and hiss, because they're the people that are destroying humanity. Turn it back around on these body snatchers. We need to all point our finger and go, that's the one right there. They're the ones. They want to do all this in the dark? Ain't gonna happen, bud. Got your big old blue butt hanging out over the edge. You New World Order blue bloods. So, it's good. This is getting out there. I need to become passé. I need to become overrated. I need to get off the vanguard, get off the tip of the spear. I mean, I have a duty to do it, but let me tell you, I can feel the danger. So please join me at the tip of the spear. Please. Please. I'm selfish. We'll be right back.
We're on the march.